Hello and welcome to another episode of Indie Spotlight. I'm your host Zaymot, also known as Trevor on social media, where you can find links to my video, or you can find links to all that social media in the video description below. This is a live show. It's recorded before a live studio audience. My dog now sleeping over there, not under the desk. So anyway, thank you guys for joining me. This is the show where I talk about indie creators, indie writers, indie comics, indie whatever. Been doing a lot of indie music since this show started, and I've seen a lot of love. Thank you so much for all the comments, for the new people who have joined the channel, the new subscribers. You guys have made the first episode of this show of my 7th most watched video, I believe. Not huge for me. I'm a small channel, but I mean, it is huge for me, but it's not huge because I'm a small channel. Wanted to shift gears a little bit, but before I do, check out the links to keep this channel ad-free. Check out the beardstruggle.com where you can get the beard products I use. Save 15% using my code BeardWizard99. So I'm looking at the camera and I can look at the screen. I'm not sure which way to look, but I'm looking at you. Live show. Check out the Subscribe Star page where you can become a subscriber of the channel. You can help me out, keep the channel ad-free, also get exclusive rewards and a story that only subscribers get to read, which I update semi-regularly. A short story going on there. And finally, check out our merch store where you can get your own very own Frags of Beer merch. You can get Grey Raven Tavern and Meadery merch. You can get all kinds of cool stuff there. So check that stuff out. So as I was saying, I always say I want to do comic creators and writers and all this other stuff. And it was just a matter of figuring out the format. Well, my wife had a great idea about how to do some of the indie movies. So we're going to try that out soon. But before then, I've got you an indie comic creator coming to the show this Friday, 4 Central. So in case you're watching this recording after the fact, that's going to be 2 days from today. What's Friday? The 2nd? Yep. On the 2nd of April at 4 p.m. Central, we're going to be talking to Frankie White, who is an indie comic creator, writer, and all that good stuff. He's going to talk about his latest projects with me on Indie Spotlight, so check that out. We'll start broadening the channel's format a little bit better. As I was saying, we're going to shift gears a little bit. Full disclosure, I know Cain. He's my uncle. He is also an indie musician, an indie artist. He used to have a band. I think he still kind of has a band. I think he plays with some guys pretty regularly where he lives. But he does a lot of solo stuff on his channel. Does have a YouTube channel. I'll put a link to the original video down below and all that good stuff. But Al is a great musician, a really cool dude, a whiskey lover. And like I said, he's my uncle, so I know him. So there's your disclosure. I am familiar with the subject of this show. But more importantly, he's an independent artist. And he's out there just putting his stuff out on his own and sharing it with you guys. His genre is what I would kind of call a blend of old school, like storytelling type country and a little bit of country rock. I mean, lighter. He's not quite like Lynyrd Skynyrd or anything, but you're going to get some of those elements in some of his songs. But what I really like about Al's music is he comes from a genre and a background of storytelling in music, which we don't always get anymore. Like a lot of music is just, let's see what sounds cool and throw some things in there. And you have some artists that try to tell stories, but they try to hide a lot of things in metaphor, and it doesn't always come out very clear. But Al comes from a school of music that is very clear about the story that they're trying to tell with their music, with the song, and trying to deliver. And this is no exception. Old Alice Road, I listened to it when it came out back earlier this month. I believe this is Al's latest track. I have not seen anything new since this came out, but totally independent. We're going to take a look at Al Cain's Old Alice Road. I will pause as needed, and we'll see what this song's all about. Now, keep in mind, super indie. He records in his home with his own equipment, his own stuff. He writes his own songs. This is all Al. So here we go. We're gonna take a look at it. Cheers.
We're just outside of town on Old Alice Road. Stands a two-room shack that I used to know. And the lady that lived there gave me such a thrill. I learned more in one night than I ever will.
So like I said, definitely comes from a background of storytelling in music. He's already set this scene. We can already imagine this old rundown house on some back road, kind of maybe off in the woods where a lot of people don't go, but it sounds like a lot of people know about this place. And it sounds like we're going to hear a little bit of a cheeky song, a little bit of a naughty story, if you will, about this old house on Old Alice Road.
She took me by the hand and led me to her room. That first round of loving ended much too soon. She just smiled, kissed my cheek, and said, "That's all right. Lay down here beside me, we've got all night." And Alice taught me all the things a man should know. As a candle cast our shadows on the wall, I'll always remember that warm summer night and the clock that kept the time down the hall.
I love that element when I heard this the first time. The little things that are in this song that may not seem important. The candlelight, the clock keeping time down the hall, that fills this whole scene with sound, with sight and with smell. You've got a candle burning. It's clearly going to be casting shadows. It's clearly going to be casting in a different light than you would normally see. And then you've got that clock ticking, and all of us know what a ticking clock sounds like. So you can imagine what this is like. And I love there may be some people may get the wrong idea about this woman teaches him all a man should know. And in our first sort of phrasing, our first bars, she's teaching him patience. She's teaching him, not to be too hard on himself. It's kind of a blues song. It's kind of a song about, we know what it's about, but there's more to it than just, this lady down the road teaches this young man how to please a woman. There's more to it than that. And you can, if you think about it for a minute, there's more to it than that, which I like.
Well, I still think of Alice from all those years ago, as she whispered in my ears the things a man should know. And I hope that she's found love somewhere along the way, and someone to hold her hand in the light of day.
That's really cool too. I like that how he hit this character, this guy who's telling this story, clearly has fond memories of this woman and hopes that her life was great in her later years, and that's really cool. I like that.
Well, it's been a long time now since I've been home, and most everyone I knew back then is long gone. So I took myself a ride out on Alice Road, just one more time to see that shack I used to know. And Alice Alice taught me all the things a man should know. While a candle casts our shadows on the wall, I'll always remember that warm summer night and the clock that kept the time down the hall.
Sorry, I keep pausing, but there's a lot in this song that I really like. You know, we all have fond memories of our youth. Most of us, I would think, have fond memories of our youth and, you know, romances that we had when we were young. And now, obviously, this romance is a little bit atypical. You know, you've probably got a young man who was infatuated with an older woman. But we can all sort of relate to that, going home and everybody we know is gone. The town has changed, and we kind of remember those people and those early loves. You know, those infatuations that we had when we were younger, and we wonder what happened to the people that we knew or we cared about, or the guy or the gal that we dated one summer and never saw again because we moved, or it was a vacation, so we saw him for 2 weeks and then it was over. You know, we all wonder what happened, and we can all kind of relate, I think, to that feeling of going back home and wondering how things turned out. You know what I mean?
Well, I can still remember that warm summer night. It doesn't seem like all that long ago, when the candle burned softly on the dresser by her bed, and Alice taught me all I need to know. And Alice taught me all the things a man should know, while a candle cast our shadows on the wall. I'll always remember that warm summer night and the clock that kept the time down the hall. Yes, I'll always remember that warm summer night and the clock that kept the time down the hall.
Good song. Good song from my Uncle Al Cain. Again, full disclosure, I know Al, he's my uncle, but still, great song. Again, from a genre of music that was very much about storytelling, setting these vivid scenes, and Al does a very good job of that. His song definitely sets a vivid scene. It calls back a lot of those feelings of nostalgia of thinking about the romances we had when we were young, whether they were an older woman who taught us all we needed to know, or whether it was just, like I said, a summer fling, as somebody you dated when you were on summer vacation for a couple weeks and you never saw him again after that. We can all kind of relate to those feelings and those memories, and just the way he sets the scenes and the way he calls up that vivid imagery of the clock and the candle and the shack and the old dusty road, and I think all of those can sort of cue in different images for us and really help us kind of get a feel for this song and really put ourselves in that position or that place. So thank you guys so much for joining me. Go show Al's channel some love. Go check out his other videos. He's got a really cool one that I want to feature. I think it's called, I'll Send You a Kiss from the Moon, I think is what it's called. I can't remember right off the top of my head, but it's one of my favorite songs of Al's. Go check out his channel. Go subscribe. Show it some love. Subscribe to our channel. Keep coming back. We got some more stuff coming up. Like I said, we got an interview with a comic creator coming up Friday. I'm going to start looking at indie movies soon now that I've got sort of a format idea for that. And we'll be bringing you some more content, more gaming content coming over the weekend. And yeah, I'm off on Friday, so we're gonna have a lot of stuff coming Friday and Saturday. So I will see you guys again soon. Make sure to share the channel out there. Make sure to subscribe, share the love. Let me know what you think. Drop me some suggestions. I've been getting suggestions for other songs to do, and I love it. I appreciate it. I appreciate all of you stopping by, and I will see you again soon. Much love.